Yes. Any questions pertaining to previous topics, Mr. Shukran?
No, no.
Yeah. Any questions you have? Any doubts you have?
So far, no.
So far, no. Okay. So can I ask you some questions?
Uh, yes.
Okay. Okay, fine, no problem. So first, okay, as I would just like to, because share with you that this is our entire means structure, what we are going to cover within the entire training. So we have so far covered just means in the last session is project management basics. Today we are going to cover about the processes. Then we'll go one by one to all the knowledge areas, right? Okay. First, just let me means what I can say. Start with the project management. Okay, so earlier we studied project, right? Okay, so now we are talking about project management. Okay, under the project management, if let's say we look at the application of what is project management actually, it's an application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to achieve a specific goal and meet specific success criteria. Okay, and this one, for example, what we studied earlier, that was a project. Okay, can you tell me what was the definition of the project, what we did last week? Hello, yes. So can you just,
Sorry, I was mute.
okay, yes.
Some process undertaken to produce a unique product or service
Unique product.
or result,
And what is,
and is temporarily based on
okay. So the main quality of the project is a temporary, right? And is a unique.
yes,
It must have a beginning and the end, right? So that are the characteristics of the project, right? So now when we were talking about the project, right? In the project, we means discussed so many things last week. Now what we are going to discuss is as a project management, right? In the project management, we have 5 stages. Last time we were covering about the triangle, right? So we were talking about that what are the various kind of means constraints in the project we have. Okay, so today what we are going to means understand is once we understand the constraint of the project, we do the what you can say feasibility analysis and all that. Then what we need to do is we need to start the project, and when we start the project management initiates. The first thing is initiating, right? So when we have to means do the project management, the first thing start with the initiating. After initiating, we'll have the planning, then executing, monitoring and controlling, and finally we'll come to the closing, right? So all these 5 stages, we are going to go in detail one by one, where we'll understand that what are the things we are going to cover in initialization stage, what we are going to cover in the planning stage, right? And in this planning stage, okay, another one very important thing which you should understand about the project management as what we are going to study. So like we have studied what is a project. Now we are studying what is a project management. And before the project management, we were already studying that what are the constraints, right? So means what is a constraint triangle, what are the various kind of what I can say 3 constraints and the 4 constraints, how the quality means going to be uh, affected when we increase or decrease the time or cost or anything. But thing which you must understand here is that is whatever we are studying, it doesn't mean that that would be the steps to be followed exactly when you do the project management, right? Because that are just the expertise as a project manager you should have. But when you are managing a project, that time all this will be interdependent. It doesn't matter what you study in the chapter 1 that is going to come first, or what you're going to work in chapter 7 that would be coming means first. No, because what will happen is maybe chapter 13 topic also, maybe you have to utilize it at the level 1, right? For example, if let's say I go back to this slide here, right? We have project initiation. After that, we have scope management. Then we have the schedule management. Then we have communication management. Let's say when we are doing the project initiation or when you are talking about project management basics, that time itself, what you need to do is when you're talking about stakeholders, right? So here itself, you need to talk to the stakeholders, right? So means stakeholders we are going to study at the end. Doesn't mean stakeholders, but when we are initiating the project, or we are creating the project management basics, that time in the charter itself, we have the stakeholders. Then we need to know from whom we are going to do the procurement, right? That who are going to be our suppliers. When the cost is going to come in, right? So that time we have to check with the supplier that how much cost you're going to provide, means charge me, how much cost I need to incur to get the products from you. So means to say, all these things what we are learning, these do not exactly follow when we are doing the project management, right? Under the project management, all these processes will be interlinked and intercombined, right? Okay. So now in the project management, what we say is application of knowledge, skills, and tools plus techniques, right? So these would be the what kind of knowledge you are going to have. Today we are also going to cover that what is the knowledge sets of the project manager should be having, right? And the tools and techniques. Tools and techniques we will study later, like means MS Project, any other kind of tools which you can utilize when you're going to means implement the scheduling part, right? Okay. And now let's go to the next slide here. Okay, the steps and stages which we have written here in the form of diagram. The first one is project initiation. Okay, in the initiation, what we do? Okay, okay, let's me bring you here. I think my slide some. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, I think we should go to this slide. Okay, objective. The objectives of project management is to complete the project in a finite time and given budget, right? So that is the objective of a project management. Then now in the stages which we just saw in the diagrammatic view, okay, let's go to the first one, project initiation. Okay, now we can see under the project initiation, right? Project is formally started, named and defined at a broad level during this phase, right? So we have to give a name to the project. We have to discuss what is the scope of our project, right? Okay, so can you tell me what is scope?
Scope is something covered in the project.
Something
Something must be covered in the project.
must be covered in the project. Can you give me example?
Okay, I got example. Let me check. I can't remember the scope.
Okay, so if let's say you're going to means have a scope, okay, now for example, what
Uh-huh.
is the scope of this training? What you need to means cover? What are the topics you're going to cover in this entire training, right? If we go back to this slide, so you can say this is your scope, right? You're going to cover
Uh-huh.
project management basics, you're going to cover processes, you're going to cover knowledge areas. So this is entire your scope definition, I can say, right?
Okay.
So scope definition now, for example, remember last time we said, okay, we want to do a website development. In the website development, we will be creating an application which we will be able to, users would be able to key in all the data or access the entire data from the computer. But if we want to do the mobile app, that is not within the scope, right? Or if we are going to do mobile app, whether are we going to do Android application or iOS application both, or we are going to do only one application, right? Okay, so that would
Okay.
be covered in scope. Got it?
Okay.
Right. Okay, so now going back to the scope. Okay, so this is the means what we do at this level, right? And first thing what we understand here is project sponsors. I think we discussed last time also what is a project sponsor. And
Uh,
if I'm not mistaken, there was one question also which I asked in during the exam.
uh, Project sponsors is, I think, the stakeholders.
The stakeholders. Okay, so now stakeholder. Okay, now for example, would I say the means for example, supplier also will be a stakeholder?
No,
No.
supplier.
Why?
Because the supplier supply thing.
Supplier supply thing, right? So now if let's say I ask you, what do you mean by stakeholder actually? Stakeholder meaning, what is the literal meaning of stakeholder?
The management related to
Management.
the project.
Okay. So means what we can say the stakeholder will be a person with an interest or concern in something, right? So it will be anybody who is having a concern, right? So that would be a stakeholder. So now, for example, supplier would have any concern with the project or not?
Indirectly, I believe.
Yes. So indirectly and directly as well. Because see now, for example, if let's say I'm the supplier of papers, suppose, right? So I'm supplying the papers to a newspaper company, okay, and they are printing daily the newspaper. If let's say now this newspaper company is going to shift their project portfolio from means direct printing on papers to become online, right? So online paper, so means to say my supply will become almost zero, right?
Yes.
So I'll be very much concerned. So means to say, okay, so stakeholder, I am also a stakeholder. Supplier is also a stakeholder. Any procurement also will be a stakeholder, right? So now what we are talking about, project sponsor is also one of the stakeholder, right? If you look at the definition which I have written here, it is written project sponsors and other important stakeholders. So means project sponsor is also a stakeholder, okay? But who is a project sponsor now? Because this definition we should know, that would be means in the later we means would require to use it again and again many times. Any idea about project sponsor?
Uh, no, at the moment.
No, at the moment. Okay, no problem. Okay, project sponsor, like for example, who actually initiated the project? Suppose I come to you, right? Maybe I can be a client can be a project sponsor, government can be a project sponsor, any individual or corporation can be a project sponsor, the person who wants a project to be started, right? So for example, let's say if I want to get an application to be developed, right? And then I'm going to pay you, that you as a developer going to develop my website. And then there is a person who's going to manage this entire thing. I need to make the payments to everybody, correct or not? Because I'm the
Right.
one who want this website to be developed. Okay, then I would be the person who would be deciding by when I need this. But of course, you will give me a feedback based on my scope, right? If I say that, okay, I want a website within 1 month and it should do all these things, it should be equivalent to Amazon, right? Then you as a project manager, you will do the study and come back to me, excuse me, this is cannot be done within 1 month. The scope which you have given, this scope will require this many programmers, will require this many database engineers, and then this would be a security means workers, those who will be working on all the means different tiers of application, and it might take 3 to 4 months to get the first prototype to be ready, right? Then I understand, okay, for this much means of work, I need this much of amount and this much of timeline by which my project will be completed, right? And then I'm going to pay the entire thing, whichever going to be what I can say. And let's say you as a project manager, now what is your responsibilities? You are going to monitor the entire project from the start until the end, so that the delivery can come to me within my deadline and within my cost, right? Okay. So the person who is initiating it, who is starting the project, who want it to be done, that would be a project sponsor and responsible for all the payments and everything. So that would be a project sponsor. Got it?
Okay.
Right. Okay. And other stakeholders. Okay. Other stakeholders now, for example, one stakeholder would be the what we can say supplier. Who can be other stakeholders? Any idea who can be the stakeholders of the project?
Mm, uh, maybe an beside the supplier, maybe uh, in
Mhm.
some industrial leader, maybe.
Yeah, sales.
Yeah, sales. Sales also related to suppliers, right?
No, sales won't be supplier. right?
Okay.
Sales can be in both sides. Sales can be from our side, right? And sales can be from the side of the what we call even uh, those who are supplier sales and plus our side sales. Like both sales can be there. Who can be else?
Hello. Hello.
Any
Hello.
other example? Any other stakeholder in your mind?
Uh, no, I can't think anything else.
Okay. Go back to definition again. Who is a
Hello.
stakeholder? I
Hello.
said go back to definition again. Who is a
Uh,
stakeholder? Stakeholder
uh,
is anybody who is concerned, right? So who can be other persons can be concerned? Even our client can be concerned, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. So our client who is going to use this project can be concerned. Government can be concerned. Suppose I'm going to create a website, okay, and this website is not means a valid website, or maybe this website is not used for the children's, right? So I need to get an approval, right? That means government can come into the stakeholder. Now, for example, let's say if I were to set up a means online business, then again I'm going to have a transactions. I'm going to have a gateway means payment gateways, right? Then the banking sector can be one of my stakeholder, right? Then maybe I need to approval. I need to get approval from Bank Nagara to open means this application. So that can be one of my stakeholder. If I'm transferring the money online to other countries, if I'm, let's say, trans means doing some kind of trading of the gold trading as well, whether can I send the gold out of the country or not, then again, I need to get an immigration can be one of my stakeholder, right? So in this word means what we can say is it can be stakeholders can be anybody, right? Okay, so these can be coming from the various sides that those who are the stakeholders. Now we have to think about in the project initiation, who are our stakeholders and what are the inputs we require from them, right? Okay, because if let's say I don't take their inputs, then tomorrow I can be running into a trouble. Because what I have done is I have means started something, I have initiated something, but I didn't consult my stakeholder. Like for example, let's say we are going to develop a railway track, okay, a railway track, and means now we are means we have finalized the entire track that okay, this is the shortest possible path from let's say KL to Putrajaya, right? And means while when we were means and what we supposed to think is we must not demolish so many houses, right? We must not demolish any means uh, public what I can say property. So if let's say we can find the empty parts where we can means build our road and the means minimum deterioration to the ecosystem, okay, that would be the best path. But if let's say we do not consult oil and gas department, and maybe the path which we have chosen, it is also having a let's say oil piping there, which can have a or gas piping there. Do you think it will be safe to run a LRT on top of the gasoline pipe?
Definitely no. So they
Definitely no,
also
right?
need to be part of the stakeholders only.
Yes. Yes. So they should be part of stakeholders and they need to be consulted on the day one, right? So what we need to do is once we have our path, we need to go and get the approval and check with them that is there any your pipeline, or before we start means laying down our means plan, we must check where the pipeline's running. Are we crossing any of the pipeline, right? Any areas which are dangerous or any area which was dumping site earlier, right? Or maybe a mining site earlier. If we are using that kind of means area as well, then maybe when we lay down our means railway track on it, it might means not solid enough, right? Okay, so these are the things what we need to do, the due diligence, decide whether or not commit to a project. Okay, so these all are the parts of the initiation. Depending on the nature of the project, then we talk about the feasibility studies are conducted, right? Okay, so what is feasibility?
Something that uh, related to the project that is, how shall I say, feasible. Of course, it's feasibility studies. Something that that
Yes. Feasibility would be actually possible, right? Feasible means possible, whether this is possible or not. Okay. So as we can say, feasibility can be in many, many ways. Feasibility can be whether it is possible to produce this project within this cost. That can be one feasibility, right? Whether,
right?
for example, let's say we want to make for example, somebody want to create a car, right? But the car, what they want to do is, which should be running on the, not a petrol, but it should be running on the electricity, right? But they want this car to be, means running, let's say 1,000 to 10,000 kilometers just on one battery charge, whether that is feasible or not, right? Because yes, you can create a car, you can also create an electric car, you have the expertise of that as a company, right? But you don't have the battery which can run this much, right? So that can be one of the feasibility, because the project sponsor coming to you, his main requirement is not only electric car, he want to have a electric car which can run 10,000 kilometers with one charge, right? So that's where you will come and check the feasibility, that whether it is feasible or not. Got it?
Okay.
After that, or it may require an IT project requirement gathering. Okay. So requirement gathering would be, as you understand, that various kind of requirements we have for it. Okay. And that is not only for IT, for any other project also there is a requirement. Analysis are performed, right? In the construction industry, a project charter is completed in this place, in this phase. Okay. Any idea what is project charter?
Uh, okay. Don't have any idea.
Okay. Project charter. Project charter is a group of people, right? Those who would be like, means deciding about the entire project, that who are responsible, right? Okay. Now, for example, in the project charter, there would be a sponsor. Then after that, the management, right? Then the project leader. Then would be a project manager, right? Then the downline. Who are the managers? Further, those who are going to be, let's say, if they are, it's a functional organization, then it can be means marketing manager, it can be a finance manager, it can be any other kind of means manager. So project charter is a group of people, all group of people, those who are required in this project included together. So those who will be giving the approval, that who is going to play what role, who is going to do what, right? So that group will be known as project charter. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let's now go to the next one. Okay, so next one is project planning phase, right? Okay, so planning is a very huge, means what we call domain itself. In the planning, what we need to do is we need to understand the every aspect of our problem. So what we need to plan, because if our plan is not correct, if our plan is not means according to the, what I can say, requirements, then everything tomorrow, whatever we are managing, no point, means whether we manage it well, we do not manage it well because the plan itself was wrong, right? Okay. So a project management plan is developed comprehensively of individual plans for, okay, so now what we would have is, we will have a plan, and in the plan, we will have the sub plans for the subdomains, right? And which would be, first one would be the cost, right? So first thing we need to do the cost planning. We call it one, there is a term in accounting, we call it zero budgeting. Do you have any idea what is zero budgeting?
No.
No? Okay. Now, what is budgeting? Any idea what is budgeting there?
Something the forecasted
Forecast.
line.
So, like for example, let's say if you want to travel from, means your hometown to, let's say you want to travel to Penang, right? So now what you are going to do is, you will do the budget, that okay, how much I'm going to spend on my petrol, how much I'm going to, if I'm going to stay there overnight, how much I'm going to pay for the hotel, for the food and everything. So you'll make sure that much amount you keep in your pocket, and then only you leave your house. Am I correct? Right.
Right.
So now, if let's say the budgeting would be when you know that some kind of budgets you have done, traveling you have done earlier, so you'll have the idea that how much I'm going to pay for toll, how much I'm going to, how much my car consumption would be, how much means kind of things, you will have some budget plan earlier, right? But when you talk about Zero budgeting means this work you have never done earlier, right? For example, let's say you have never created a website earlier. Okay. First time you're going to do the website budget. So now what you're going to do is you are going to start the budget that would be known as zero budgeting, right? Zero budgeting is not that means you start from what you can say zero, because for everything we start from zero one. So for means this cost is how much, that cost is how much, that's how we start calculating. Zero budget means which you have never done earlier, right? First time you're doing that budget, and from there you start. So that is known as zero budgeting. Okay. So first you will do that, then means that would be a cost budgeting. Then after that, we will have the scope planning, right? So under the scope, okay, under planning as well, what we need to do is, because why now I ask you, why the scope is required in the planning? What is the interrelation between these two words?
Sorry again.
Okay, now we have the word here scope, right? And then we are telling, okay, scope has to be decided, have to be planned, right? So what is the interrelation between scope and planning?
Scope and planning. I think planning is related more to the activities. Scope is
Okay,
more on the target to be
okay.
covered.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
from my
so what
understanding.
we would, yeah, so what kind of things we will do under the scope planning?
What we do in the scope planning. User requirement gathering
Mhm.
for the scope
User
planning.
requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now, for example, let's say, okay, as we can go to our simple definition of scope, scope, we can say the boundaries of our project, right? Or in depth, what we are going to cover in our project. So that would be our scope.
Okay. Okay.